Hey guys, and welcome to the show. We were gone for a little while. It's been a while since the end of season 5. This is going to be the beginning of season 6, and we're really excited to do this. And we're certainly appreciative of you guys giving us the opportunity to do 6 seasons. And again, I am sorry about the delay. I took a nap. Hey guys, and welcome to the show again. This is the first episode of season 6, and I am excited to have with me Mr. Garret Jacobs. Garret, how's it going, bud?
It's going well, Lex. Good to see your face, man.
So I think that you've done a Taste of Premiere before. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is your second one. I'll have to go back and look in the archives.
You will, Lex, because I'm getting old, man, and I can't remember. Your seasons have been going on too long. So
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, this is over 100 episodes. I think we're in like the 130 range, something like that. Yeah. It is, and it's a lot of fun to do. Now, you've been at Microsoft a long time.
I have. I think I do remember. Yes, you were in that class. It was April 1991, and I think you were like 7, and I was a bit older. I don't know.
I think you were 10.
Yeah.
Maybe you were 8. I don't know. Yeah, we both started the same day at Microsoft. There were like 30 people in that class, and I think there's 3 left that I know of.
Yeah, that's right. Just a few of us.
Yeah, there's only a few of us. So you're doing Modern Workplace now.
Yeah. This thing we call Modern Workplace. It's really cool. I love the work I'm doing right now, Lex. It's just cool to see lots of cool things turned on for workplace for the employee across our industry. So it's a great place to be.
But give us a little bit of a description of what Modern Workplace actually is.
Yeah. Well, it's, where to start? I don't know. What we find is that even with all of our great tech, right, that we've seen over 3 decades, even with all of our fantastic ways to send files and get information and store, we still found ourselves in this silo, this crazy silo of work, and sometimes just pummeled with information and data and not know where to put it, not know how to use it, not know how to store it, and so on. So in all of these technologies, we haven't figured out a way to really make ourselves productive and to get the promise that they were given, right? We're stepping into this place called Modern Workplace. We're able to really take a new rationalized look at how we're using data, how we're meeting up with each other, how we're using technology to get at faraway places and bring them near. How do we talk with people across the globe, and even though we don't understand the same language, we're able to work together real time. But it's just this place where employees can now innovate, and where we depend on more rank and file to innovate and to pull other people together with their teams and get solutions built. And we're seeing it happen. We're seeing it happen at Microsoft. It's very cool, just where we're able to break down these silos in ways that are just quick. With either custom solutions or things that are in the box that we're selling. This Modern Workplace that you'll hear Satya talk about it in the shows and in interviews. You'll hear different Microsoft people talk about it. It's not pie in the sky. We're seeing it happen, and we're seeing these old silos being broke down. When we throw out this idea of modern, it's much bigger than some dime store show. It's becoming reality, and it's very cool. I could talk on that question all day, Lex, but it's cool to me, and I'm glad to be in this space right now because it's an innovative space, and it's a place where we're really making very excited employees and companies working.
Yeah. Very cool. So you mean that having access to tons of data doesn't make you process it or give you the ability, I should say, to process it any faster?
No, it doesn't.
Go figure.
Yeah. We're I think we're up to our eyeballs in data, and we're seeing a data revolution in other places. But for the average worker, what can we do with data? And that's what's exciting. Yeah.
All right. So how does Microsoft empower its workforce?
this is one place we Microsoft eats its own dog food, right? I think there's a nuanced version of that these days where we try and ingest and use our technology first and prove it out here first. So what I can do today, right? If I take my cell phone, I'm able to go up on a tool that's in-house and immediately give people kudos, right? If I'm working with you, Lex, on a project and you're just helping me and you're really helping the project and you're really helping a lot of us, but that would otherwise stay really quiet, I go up on a tool that I have to give you kudos. That goes to your manager, goes to your HR, goes to your environment, and people see it immediately by this phone. But maybe there's a project I want to launch and I don't know who to start that with. The same tool allows me to get other people within the company, and we're 150,000 people these days, right? Other people within the company who have the same idea or are working on the same technology or would like to join my project, and find them via just looking for experts in that area and seeing what they're doing with Delve and with information. We can track documents they're actually working on in a scene. So these tools on my phone allow me to pull a team together, a virtual team, pull them together on a project and get us all working on something that we can use within our organizations or we can span company-wide. So it's the same tool where I'm able to find experts and get that going. The same tool, and again, we're not talking lots of line of business apps. It's just a simple app that we wrote through Power Apps, is able to, let me spawn an idea and immediately see votes online for that idea. How many times have you been sitting, around the bar or the conference room or wherever, and you're talking with your coworkers saying, well, what if we did it this way, right? What if we took this data that's coming from this app and we talked to customers this way and corralled this type of idea? What if we did it that way? And it just goes into the ether because you've got no sponsor. You've got nobody to take it and take the idea and really give it legs. Well, this tool that I'm using here, just using the basics of 365 and what's available on the platform, allows me to spawn an idea, get sponsors, get people from other organizations to say, yeah, I love that. Actually, and I can give some dev time to that, or I can give some PM time to that, and spawn up these works that turn into real company solutions, right? So it's that type of thing that happens again and again. And I'm a marketing guy, right? I'm not. I don't spend my time in dev. I don't spend my time in legal or in supply chain or in these other areas. But if I need those experts, I can quickly get at those folks because of the data that's available in my ecosystem and the tools that allow me to go across boundary quickly. So at Microsoft, what I'm doing today, and again, there's a question I could just spend your whole hour talking about because I'm in conference rooms and I can give immediate, or I'm in Satya meetings, company-wide meetings, and I can go on Yammer and immediately talk about what I'm hearing and see other points of view. And all different employee contexts at Microsoft are being lit up now because we have these tools. And we have individuals like me who can just go build Power BI, right? Or just take Flow and build a new flow within the company. So yes, I'm excited to be in this role, and I'm excited to see what Microsoft is doing.
So is that what we're talking about? Kind of Power BI dashboards, stuff like that?
Yeah, that's some of it, right? But with Power BI, we're able to expose. We've called it data democratization, right? We're able to take data down to people like me who aren't BI experts, right? And I'm not a data scientist, but yet I know what I can do with an Excel, converting it to a Power BI, or a SQL query, turning it to a Power BI. So these aren't really difficult tools. Microsoft has made them available for the end user, and what I can do with Power Apps, what I can do with Flow and Delve and Stream, and all of these tools that are in the box, and weaving them together into solutions is extremely powerful. And that makes me very powerful and very able to get large things done in a short amount of time. The great promise of technology, right? I think we're just finally coming to see it come to bear.
But CompuServe for $5 an hour can it's just $5 an hour.
Just $5 an hour. That's right.
Yeah. Well, when you think about that, we're at what, 500 times that speed at $49 a month is probably the average. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. But so a customer sees this presentation or has heard about Modern Workplace and they want to engage us. What can we do to help the customer get there?
Right. And everyone's in some stage of this maturity, right? We can't assume everyone has got all the bits and everything ready to go as far as the tools. If you have a TAM, I know you're speaking to many of your customers have a premier contract or a unified contract. The TAM is the first place to go in this conversation. If you have other connections at Microsoft, I can tell you that Microsoft at large is speaking the same language with regard to modernization of your tools. So any contact you have at Microsoft, if it comes through a show or if it comes through a contract you have or a service you have, is able to talk to you about this. I'll open up my own email, Garret J at Microsoft. You're welcome to contact me and I'll connect the dots for you. But we're making a lot of this available online, some learning and some training. But I would say, if you're working with Microsoft primarily through your premier contract, that would be the first angle I'd go. I represent Microsoft Consulting Services, and we can come to the table and bring and make alive some of these solutions in your environment, these custom solutions out of your Office 365 environment. But most of the tools I'm talking about are in the box when an old term, service in the stack around Office 365, whatever license version you're under. These tools are there for you to use. So I realize, again, everyone's at some different stage in this evolution of modernization, but we really want to help you make use of what you have and turning these into real-life solutions for your employees in your company. So again, if you don't have a Microsoft contact, I welcome you to contact me directly, and I'll help you get steered the right way into how we or one of our partners can come alongside you and bring one of these solutions to bear. But go ahead. You look like you have a question.
No. I'm just gonna let you go, man. So seriously, do you have any customers that you can talk about that we've gone in and helped? Yeah. Sure.
We have a lot of customers in flight that I can't expose, but there's some that we're done with and that we've really brought some modern solutions to. I'd invite any of you to go up to YouTube and query NASCAR Microsoft, or the other order. It's a phenomenal story. We've got several videos out there that really highlight different angles of the solution we've brought to NASCAR and working with them and taking their 365 investment and really turning on analytics, right? If you haven't seen My Analytics, what we can do there, again, YouTube is a great source, or Workplace Analytics, what you can do for your organization. But taking the data that works its way through Exchange and Skype and all these tools that you're using every day, and pulling richness out of that data to show you how you can reshape your organization around best productivity. And it's amazing what we've been able to do, what we've shown companies like NASCAR, Macy's another one on analytics, what we've done with NASCAR also around some of their normal track operations. I know you're in Charlotte, Lex, so you probably have seen some of this firsthand, but where they do review of pit crews, these guys who have been using paper and notepad, solutions for decades, now have in their hand a Surface device that gives them real-time information, allows them to update review checks, get information back to SharePoint, house that information, analyze that information, and provide it to all parties at once. And that was a multi-week process and a long process before. But these guys now, NASCAR, you can go and if you talk to them, learn what they're doing that we're not directly involved in, but they're innovating on their own within the 365 environment. And it's exciting to see. Macy's has taken our solution and changed their customer experience in store, their mobile experience. So they're making a continuum of a mobile shopping experience right into the store. So that their clerks and their employees can get a good idea immediately of who they've got in the store, where they are, and give them intelligence on that customer and their shopping patterns and so on. Macy's has also taken hold of our workplace analytics story, and there's another story that we've put out on YouTube for you to go take a look at. But Macy's and Microsoft, you'll find it, and what they've done internally to really optimize their operations internally on My Analytics and our analytics engine, what each employee gets out of the My Analytics and what the company gets out of a workplace analytics has been really powerful there. But again, we've got a lot of stories. We've seen this happen with customers and seen their entire workforce take to these tools and suddenly be incredibly empowered. But we just want to see it happen more places. I mean, what's available through the 365 suite of applications and tools is really powerful for what an individual employee can do, whatever division they're in. And that's what we're trying to communicate and move forward.
Is the NFL doing this? Is that what the NFL is doing when I see those surfaces on the sideline?
Yeah. You can bet. That's a great story, and you don't have to just turn it on Sunday morning. You see the surface area we're able to cover, no pun intended, but you really look across, whether it's the commentators at the break or it's the big tent they go into to get a bigger experience there. But everyone carrying around their device is able to see immediately what went into the play that just happened, to slow it down, to dive in, and to look at individual blocks and individual moves. It's phenomenal what the NFL has done with just our surface and some custom work that our services group has brought to them in a solution for the sideline. It's just a great example to show that when we're talking about workforce, we're not talking about the guy or the lady at the desk, right? When we talk about a modern workforce, we're talking about people in all facets of our economy, taking hold of what's available on their phone. We're not even talking about a PC on every desk. Remember that one? We're talking about technology that everyone's carrying around with them. So it's really an empowering tool that you're using on 365, able to get at data, able to hook up with other employees, that it gives you, really. And it's super powerful. And I think the NFL example is a great example. We're talking football players, right? The farthest thing you can think of from somebody sitting at a desk, right, is somebody playing football. But we're looking across the corporate space into where this can plug and seeing a lot of great examples.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you seem pretty excited about the technology and the ability for us to do this.
I do. I mean, we've seen it happen at Microsoft first. So we've proven it out there. And when we see companies take hold of our vision and really put it into practice in a more intelligent way than we could have come up with, right? Because what Microsoft is all about is giving you these tools and helping you on-ramp onto them and turn you loose and make you powerful. And that's what truly we're all about. And when we see that happen again and again and again and again, it gets me terribly excited, Lex. And it really, I've been, like we said, we've been here 28 years. It keeps me excited about coming in every day and working with our customers that way. Just to see what they're doing with our platform is very cool.
So it sounds like the definition, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going back to my first question. What is a modern workplace? Yeah. It sounds like the definition is just taking data that's important to the individual and presenting it to that individual in a way that's actionable and that they can find value in immediately.
Yeah, and data is one aspect. I haven't even mentioned mixed reality, which is a device angle on this. But when you combine a very cool device, a HoloLens or a virtual reality device from one of our partners, and you've got a field worker, or you've got a new employee, or you've got someone that needs to be trained, or you've got someone that needs to plan out a space, or you need to design a car, or any one of these contexts, when you pair a device with information, with data like you were mentioning, suddenly that employee is unbelievably powerful. And suddenly a learning experience that was mundane and a drudgery, that you had to work through, suddenly comes alive and where the learner or the new employee is energized to keep moving. These are storylines we've seen. These aren't out of a book. We're seeing these happen in our industry. So where you involve something like mixed reality that isn't so data dependent, is just connecting people, or it's connecting experiences, making experiences come alive. It's exciting. I mentioned mixed reality because many of our customers tend to put it in a gaming sort of consumer space.
Right.
Where we're seeing the coolest stuff happen is, in farm fields and in engineering rooms and in classrooms and in those places. That's where we're seeing the coolest stuff happen with this technology. And then I could talk about Surface, right? Well, what are we seeing with the Surface? You mentioned NFL. We're talking to some hospitality companies that want to take Surface Hub, right? This big Surface, and put it into conference rooms to turn on sort of modern conferencing. If anyone was at Build and saw the devices we were working with Logitech and Polycom, those guys, looking at these devices that allowed us to log someone in on face recognition and then talk to each other using our translation service, Cortana translation service, real time in a conference room using the hub and the camera and so on. There's just some pretty exciting things going on around the modern workplace. And it does involve data, but it involves technology, device technology, and software tools that are at our fingertips and ready.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've got a pretty neat example of that. I was out at one of the NASA centers, and they actually have a clean room. They're building the next version of the Mars lander. Wow. And to get into the clean room and to get out of the clean room, it's at least 15 minutes. To get in and get out. So they have a Surface Hub in the clean room. The engineers that are working directly on the lander in the clean room use the Surface Hub to communicate with scientists and engineers that are outside the clean room, so that they don't have to go through the process of entering the clean room. And yeah, pretty neat stuff.
It is. And again, it's just cool to see our customers innovate in ways we never dreamed. Right? Because we're not building the innovation solution for you. We're giving you the tools to do it yourself. And services is there to lead you there and to help you migrate there. But really, once we're seeing NASCAR, we're seeing Macy's, we're seeing all these examples start to create solutions we didn't dream about. So it's very cool. And I think we're finally at a time, Lex, in our history. Where we're seeing the tech help us save time and help us be empowered. So this great promise, I think it's fun.
I would argue that it's always helped us, but it's getting to the point where it's in everyday life. Yeah, and it's more usable today than it's ever been. Yeah,
I think so. So. And push down to more of the idiots like me, just to be able to make use of it.
Cool. So I think we've come. We started out in an era where you went to a device, you walked to a computer, you sat down at a desk that had a computer on it. The device was stationary, you went to the device. Right. We've moved into an era where the device is just as mobile as you are, and the device is with you all the time, and you don't have to go to the device is just there. Yeah. And that's killer. And that's we did that to some extent with smartphones, but now, with tablets and things like the Surface Hub, and especially things like virtual reality and mixed reality, I could see somebody walking into a showroom, a car showroom. We'll just say a car showroom. They just bought this new car. It's got loads of tech. They put on a virtual reality headset. Mm-hmm. They sit in the car. They look at the car stereo, and directions for operating the stereo come up. Or they look at the dash, and there's some new functionality this car has, and here's how you enable it, and here's how, kind of a really cool way and fun way to get customers excited about experiencing the new technology and whatever that product is.
Right.
So pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. You can go to YouTube and hit Lowe's Microsoft and see how they've done something very similar with their showroom. Working with our mixed reality design, you walk into what is very staid and simple room. You put on the glasses, start making choices, and it lights up into what the kitchen that you've designed. within the HoloLens UI. So worked with them to build that UI, that demo to where they take customers into this mixed reality part of their floor, and able to put on the HoloLens, make the selections and light up this room that shows them what possibilities look like based on their colors and designs and things like that. So yes, absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just awesome. We work for a great company.
We do. I like this place.
I love it. All right. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on and explaining this to us. I think we're going to throw some links up. Yeah. We'll throw up a link to the NASCAR site that you mentioned and some other things. But again, thank you so much for doing this with us. And by the way, if you're watching this episode, you are watching it on YouTube. So that means that either over there, or maybe down here, or somewhere on the screen, there is a subscribe button somewhere. Just please click that subscribe button because, we love doing these. We love being able to do these for you. And, the more popular we are, the more subscriptions we get, the more of these we'll be able to do. So thank you if you're watching this. And that's our Taste of Premiere.